I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That ball is history. A walk-off home run.
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Thank you for listening, however you may be listening, whether that's on terrestrial radio at 94.1 FM. If you're listening on our website at sasportstar.com via the AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're tuned in on our YouTube page, we stream all of our shows live on YouTube at SA Sports Star. Go ahead, like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show, or you can just feel free to call in at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Man, we are on the precipice of greatness. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Taylor Martinez, Fred Records, Miss Becky, Fred Real, already in on the comment line. Although I'm sorry, Miss Becky, looks like you have COVID, and that stinks. Sorry to hear about that. It feels like Christmas Eve to me. This is, whew. The NFL season kicks off tomorrow with a fantastic matchup in an AFC rematch between Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, who added Derrick Henry to that offense this offseason, and the Kansas City Chiefs, who have won 2 straight, looking to become the first team to win 3 in a row. And oh, man, I feel like a kid on Christmas Eve because the NFL is here. Got to start plotting my fantasy lineup. You got Patrick Mahomes, who has weapons this year, unlike last year. The only thing they really lost was L'Jarius Sneed to the Tennessee Titans, making them set to be a real threat to get a three-peat this upcoming season. And I could feel the excitement in the air this morning on the morning huddle because they did an NFL extravaganza this morning where they started breaking down who they think are winning and losing the divisions and will be the wild card teams. And look, we're all going to look stupid in about 4 months when we get to the playoffs. And there's this weird team that jumps into the mix that none of us saw coming, a lot like the Houston Texans were last year.
All right. Let's take a look at, where do you want to start, AFC or NFC?
Let's go to the AFC and work our way around.
All right, let's start up top in the AFC. We'll start in, I think, the toughest division in football, the AFC North, where you've got co-favorites, Rob. The Bengals and the Ravens are co-favorites at plus 145. The Browns plus 550. The Steelers are 8-1. Who wins the AFC North in your mind?
The Ravens run through them again.
I wish I could disagree with you. I like them too. I will say, you know what? I'm going to go different. I'll go the Bengals. I like the Ravens better, but the Bengals get a last place schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They play because they stunk last year because Joe Burrow got hurt and they were supposed to be good. What happened? Joe Burrow gets hurt. They're not good. The concern, I guess, for the Bengals is no Jamar Chase.
Not yet.
Generally, I default to the Ravens when it's close, but I'm going to take the Bengals. So I'll go Bengals. Rob is going Ravens.
I think Zay Flowers is going to be a superstar.
Okay. I don't disagree with that.
He's got the potential to be one of those Steve Smith kind of game breaker kind of guys.
All right. Let's go to the AFC East. Your new favorites, the New York Jets. They are plus 165. The Bills plus 195. Patriots 25-1. Who wins the AFC East, Rob?
Well, you can go first on this. Why don't you step out on this plank?
I'll step out. I'll say Buffalo still is good enough to hang in there. I think the Bills are. I think the reports of their demise are over exaggerated. I do think they're going to take a step back. I think their title hopes are less than they've been the last couple of years, but I still think they're the cream of that division. So I'll go Buffalo.
My gut tells me you're right, but I think Miami's laying low.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going.
No, I think Miami's priming themselves to do something special. I don't think they're going to do anything more than, at best, win their division. But I do think that if it doesn't work, they're going to start tooling around the edges, and some of those high-dollar guys might be kind of in trouble. The Tua got paid. You've got everything around him. McDaniel just got an extension. It's time to do something.
Here's what I don't like about Miami. They lost Christian Watkins in the offseason and did not do anything real to replace him.
Mm-hmm.
And remember last year, they struggled down the stretch. And remember, they went to Baltimore when it was cold, and they just stunk. And everybody said, well, when Tua in the cold, he's going to be bad. If you look at their schedule this year, Thanksgiving at Green Bay, their last 2 games of the season at Cleveland, at the Jets. That means last year where they only had 1 cold weather game, this year they've got 3. I don't trust Tua outdoors in the cold.
They acquitted themselves pretty well in Kansas City last year, didn't they? I mean, you're right.
They didn't embarrass themselves.
What they do need to make sure of, and for them to go where I think they're capable of, they were really banged up at the end of the year. They didn't have A-Chain was gone. What was the other running back?
Mostert
was hurt. I think that kind of hurt him. Tua was mostly concussed the second half of the year, stumbling around. So I do think there were some mitigating factors. I'm going to hang with you. I'm just trying to be a little different. I do think Buffalo's the class of this. They know how to do it. They got a quarterback that it's time to prove yourself, man. There's nothing. It is your team. There is no dissenting voice in the locker room. There's nobody crying for the ball. You can be the quarterback that you're supposed to be with a coach that's going to do everything he can to put you in the best position without the sidebar stuff with Diggs and other things. I think it should be them. And I think if they do it, I have higher aspirations for them than you do. I think they're Super Bowl caliber.
The Dolphins' last 3 games last season at Buffalo, they scored 19. Or no, at Baltimore, pardon me, they scored 19. Buffalo, they scored 14. At Kansas City in the playoffs, they scored 7.
It was only 7?
26-7.
26-7. I felt like they'd done more.
No, that was a game where Andy Reid had the ice mustache.
That's right. Let's hope they run up a big lead. Yeah, it's tough being a cold weather team, but they're going to be able. They've got all the manpower. If they can just stay healthy, I think it'll be a gunfight.
All right, let's look at the AFC South. The Houston Texans favored. Like when I say favored, they're bigly favored.
Should be
plus 105. Jags plus 250. Colts plus 340. Titans 10-1.
Yes, the Texans, but so much could go wrong. I mean, the schedule's so much tougher. They're going to be a better football team. They're just not going to win as many games. I think once they get into the playoffs, we'll see it. Man, yes, they're going to win it. They are. They know how to do it. They did it before, but it's just not going to be as easy.
I think the Texans should win it. If I were betting on it at plus 250, 2.5 times the chance of the Jags, I don't know.
I agree.
You know what? I'll go Jags. Give me the Jags to win the division. And that'll probably be the thing I look stupid about because they'll probably go 4-13. But
they better not.
I'll go with the Jags. You know who I think it might be better than people think they're going to be is Tennessee.
Levis.
Yeah, just being with Callahan. And Callahan, like what he did with that offense with Joe Burrow and those guys, like obviously he doesn't have the same quality of players there, but I think they could be dangerous. And I don't think Callahan's a better coach than Vrabel was, but I just think they're going to look different. They're going to be more explosive offensively. I give them a little bit of a
easy schedule.
Yeah, for sure. AFC West. Do you have the balls to go against the Chiefs? Chiefs minus 260, Chargers 350, Raiders 10-1, Broncos 22-1.
Of all the conferences, this is the easiest. They'll have it wrapped up by week 11.
Yeah, there's no argument for me. It's the Chiefs. Give me 3 wild card teams from the AFC.
Well, I told you Miami because I think they're going to end up big.
Okay.
But legitimately, I think Miami's certainly going to be there. As far as dark horses, I'm not sure, but the Colts might be somebody to be worried about.
Okay.
If Taylor can stay, I think Anthony Richards gotten a bad rap from that 1 week of we knew his plays. He won't throw the ball. The highlights I saw of him, he was capable. Now, there's a long way between here and there, but I do know that of all the teams out there that are on the comeback, on the rebuild, they've got more talent than any of them. They just don't have the superstar separator because Richardson was hurt. But I do think a fully healthy Richardson, given that physical style, that might be a surprise team. I don't know if they're a wild card, but they feel very Texans to me. They got a run game. They got wide receivers that can play. Their defense is sturdy. If their quarterback can stay healthy, they could get a little Texans run and get themselves in the playoffs. So I'm going to throw them out there. And then the Jets.
Okay.
I think the Jets and Aaron are going to be competitive, man. Those are my three.
I'm going to go Ravens, Browns, and Chargers.
Browns would.
I mean, if the God, and part of this is old pervert Watson has to be like an average NFL quarterback, which he hasn't been.
Right.
But if he can be an average NFL quarterback, the Browns are going to be a serious contender because the Browns have a great roster.
Stefanski can coach.
Yep.
He can.
And I love the Ravens, and I think Harbaugh getting in there with the Chargers, I think it's going to be an instant upgrade.
Oh, but it could be so bad.
It could be.
It could be.
Let's look at the NFC, and let's start. We'll start in the NFC North, which suddenly is a sort of a wide open division. The Lions plus 130, Packers plus 230, Bears plus 280, Vikings down at 11-1. Who do you like to win the North?
Detroit, no question.
I'm gonna go with the Packers.
Really?
Yeah. I think God, everyone just keeps slobbing on Detroit, and it's like, I get it. Yeah, I mean, I think they've got some talent. I don't know. I think maybe it was a little bit of fool's gold, and also historically, if you just assume Detroit's not going to be good, they find a way not to be good. And last year they were good. I think that's probably the exception to the rule. So I'll take the Packers. Especially because Detroit can never win at the Packers. Like they just, it doesn't happen. So give me Green Bay. I'll take them there. All right, let's go to we'll skip the East. We'll save it for the end. NFC South. I'm surprised at this. You've got a minus money favorite. The Falcons minus 130, Bucks plus 320, Saints 4-1, Panthers 11-1. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Tampa.
You like Baker Mayfield?
I do.
You're a Baker guy.
I think they are the epitome of 10-8, 10-7. They are right in the middle. I think they're going to win the games they're supposed to, and they're going to lose the ones they're supposed to, and they're coming right in the middle. I like Tampa Bay.
I wouldn't bet this at minus 130, but I'll take the Falcons. They just have so much talent. They've been it's been misappropriated for the last several years. But when I think about the guys that they've got on that offense, they should be able to figure, and they're great on the lines. They should have a pretty solid defense. So I'll go with the Falcons.
And I love the pick. The two things I want to happen this year in the NFL, that not for anything other than the entertainment value, is I want Atlanta to be on fire. I want that offense to look like it should. I want Kirk Cousins to get some love yet again, and I want him dancing around, doing whatever he does with a chain on. I want them playing well, and I want the Jets to play well. I think if those two teams are hot, it'll make the entertainment value of the league this year to a factor of X more fun.
NFC West, 49ers minus 195, Rams plus 350, Seahawks plus 650, Arizona 13-1.
San Francisco, this will be the easiest conference win or division win in all of the NFL.
I agree. I think they'll win this division by 2 or 3 games.
Far ahead.
I think that they are so clearly the best team in the NFC. NFC East, Eagles minus 125, Cowboys plus 170, Commanders 9-1, Giants 20-1.
So what's the there hadn't been a repeat winner in the East in 20 years?
Something like that. It never happens. Can the Cowboys break that streak?
I don't think. I think Saquon in Philly is such a difference. I think that of all the things that have happened in the division, holdouts, trades, changes, it is Saquon landing in Philly. I take Philly to win it.
I'm going to take Philly all. I've learned about Dallas is they are, I won't call them a stars and scrubs team, but they are very, very reliant on about the top 5 players on their roster. And any injury is going to like throw this thing completely off the tracks. And already being down one corner is scary. You know, that's probably your 3rd best defensive player, maybe your 2nd best defensive player. But if there's a Dak, Micah, CD, they're one of those guys getting hurt away from going, well, we suck. We are not good. And that worries me. So I'll take the Eagles as well. Although God, I don't particularly like the Eagles.
I don't either. But I will say this, that there is something to this strategy of Dak having an FU MVP kind of year. Because McCarthy, who, by the way, will be with us Friday morning, brought to you by AA Best Belmont's, a good opportunity to get the season going with the head coach of your Cowboys. I think if you're without a contract, you can coach like, you know what, I'm leaving anyway. Let's all go down in flames, or, let's make a big play or a big mistake. Let's figure it out and have some fun. I do think they won't say they're playing like that, but I do think you're going to see that. And it could work out ridiculously well.
Yeah.
I don't think it will, but I do think there's probably a stronger possibility that it will other than it won't.
That was the Morning Huddle. You can catch them every weekday morning from 6 to 10 right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Being asked what my Super Bowl pick is. I mean, until further notice, it's the Chiefs, man. They didn't lose much outside of L'Jarius Sneed, and you gave Patrick Mahomes a boatload of weapons. Samaje Perine was added. You already had Isaiah Pacheco. Rashee Rice really came into his own last year and was the number 1 receiver by the end of the year last year behind Travis Kelce. You've added Xavier Worthy, though he's going to miss the first game. Hollywood Brown. Like, you've now given him weapons and speed. That's dangerous. We saw what he did with Tyreek Hill. Xavier Worthy's got that kind of speed. It's going to be a very difficult ask to unseat the champs this year. And to me, until proven otherwise, you got to beat the guy with the target on their chest. Patrick Mahomes, like Tom Brady, is the guy with the target on his chest that you have to upset in order to take that crown from him. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. The Blitz, who will kick off the NFL season tomorrow at the Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. Join Jason and Joe from 2 to 6 as they get you lagered up with Yingling Lager, and they'll be giving away free, while supplies last, aluminum cups, plus raffling off at 6 o'clock a cooler valued at $175. So you're not going to miss that. Join the Blitz tomorrow. But coming up next, the Blitz, speaking of which, they had Bob Ballou on earlier this afternoon as the Longhorns rolled in their opener. But was it fool's gold, or can they truly make a statement against 10th ranked Wisconsin or Michigan? That's coming up here on Extra Innings with Pledge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and on sasportstar.com.
Train. Your neighbors at El Guacamole Mexican Grill on 25020 Blanco Road are ready to serve you breakfast or lunch fresh, made to order Mexican dishes or cold drinks on tap. Order today or visit El Guacamole Mexican Grill on 25020 Blanco Road.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today, 494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
After a total renovation of their greens, Olympia Hills invites you to their grand relaunch event the weekend of September 13th. Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that's been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Follow on social media for updates and witness the transformation of your favorite course. Discover premier golfing in Bexar County with the grand relaunch the weekend of September 13th. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law Fights.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
Am I crazy, or has real estate gotten out of control lately? Between guaranteed cash offer programs and new laws about agent commissions, it's so confusing. What's not confusing is paying someone a low flat fee to sell your house. And that's where Listing Spark comes in. Listing Spark is Texas' flat fee real estate company. Flat fee selling is sweeping the nation because it takes less time and it keeps more money in your pocket. In fact, professional real estate investors and flippers have been using Listing Spark for years. With Listing Spark, you don't pay hefty agent commissions, and you don't leave money on the table with a guaranteed cash offer program. In other words, if you have a house worth $400,000, you actually sell it for $400,000, and you don't pay $24,000 in agent commissions. Doesn't that sound better? And get this, if you get started today with Listing Spark, you can list with a local brokerage for as low as $395. Call 800-MLS-LIST or go to listingspark.com. That's listingspark.com. Listing Spark. Thousands of Texan homeowners agree. Selling's better with a low flat fee.
It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Jason and Joe on the Blitz, who will be live for Thursday night's kickoff of the NFL season. Kansas City and Baltimore. Live out at the Root Pub, 281 in Redland Road. Brought to you by Flight by Yingling as they're the NFL opener. Like I said, free aluminum cans while supplies last, plus the chance to register and win a very, very exquisite $175 cooler. Just go out, join the Blitz tomorrow, 2 to 6, 281 in Redland Road. Earlier today on the Blitz, they were talking with Bob Ballou of KITV in Austin as the Longhorns rolled in their opener, but have a much more difficult task other than Colorado State this week. They're facing 10th ranked and defending national champion Michigan. And of course, the biggest question is, the loudest ovation comes when Arch throws his first touchdown pass, despite Quinn Ewers being phenomenal in that first half, for lack of a better word, and how that could potentially be an ongoing narrative all year long.
Just offensively, will Texas be able to do to that Michigan defense what they were doing to Colorado State?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, I mean, just the speed. I mean, Wingo, who I know was a guy you mentioned you wanted to see, and I remember him from the All-American Bowl and talking to him, and he looked every bit the part, but my goodness, there's guys all over that field that Sark is at it.
100%. The question is, can Texas run the ball? And I think that's going to be the big question on Saturday. Is Texas physical enough up front to handle those two defensive tackles, to be able to get Jaden Blue in space, to do the necessary things in the run game? I mean, again, Fresno State had 22 carries for 9 yards. If Texas can't run the ball, I think that's a problem. That's not to say that you can't spark things in the passing game just because you're not running it. Like, they obviously have crazy talent out at wide receiver. I think the big player to watch in this game, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, which I tend to do with this Texas team. I've done this like every year. There's been something that I'm like way too far ahead on thinking. But one of the things I think this week to really watch for Texas are the tight ends. I think the tight ends are going to play an enormous role against Michigan because, number one, I think Michigan has enough speed at corner that they can hang with some of those wide receivers. I don't know what Michigan's going to do against those tight ends. I think Amari Niblack could have a really big game. He didn't do anything really in week one, which I think is kind of the perfect setup for it. Last year against Texas, he scored a touchdown for Alabama. He's a guy I'd look for. Gunnar Helm, obviously, has been here for a while. He had a nice 37-yard gain to set up their first touchdown against Colorado State. But I think the tight ends are going to play a key role, both in the blocking game, obviously. But I think in the passing game, I think the tight ends can play a really big role Saturday against Michigan.
That's going to be interesting. And again, I don't mean to sound too cocky with Texas. I just think that, but they are going up to Michigan. It's a tough place to play. There's no question if you're a visiting team. I do want to say, and I'm not trying to start anything here, but I thought Arch Manning looked the part.
Oh boy.
No, I'm not saying that he's going to take over, but I'm just saying I thought he looked the part for his to get out there and to play. And I get it where they were and all that. The pressure's a little bit different, but he looked good.
I had a friend of mine in the media here in Austin that said, and I think he's being a little sarcastic a little bit with this, but he said you don't play the Corvette, or you don't drive your old Corvette, when you've got the new Ferrari in the garage. And he's like, I want to see Arch. And I'm like, I get it. And I think that Arch has shown that ability. He showed it a little bit last year against Tech. He showed it in the spring game, what he can do. He showed his athleticism, his ability to make something out of nothing in the touchdown pass to Silas Bolden, the little flip out wide. Absolutely. I think Arch Manning absolutely looks the part. And I just don't, you can't play two quarterbacks. So I think it's a really tough position right now because it's a great position actually, because if he is that guy and he really can play that part, then I think that's where if Quinn does go down, you have that guy behind him. But I agree. I think Arch Manning looks, if you're just going to go by the eye test of what you've seen so far from him, I think he looks every bit of the part of the guy that we think one day is going to be the overall number one pick in the NFL draft. If that's the end of next year or 2 years from now or however long they want him to stay in college. I think I'm with you. I think he absolutely looks the part of that guy.
Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin. You're in the stadium on the field. Texas is rolling. And Quinn Ewers, I mean, that no-look touchdown pass. I mean, the touch on his first touchdown. I mean, the guy does it from the TV view. The loudest that building got is when Arch got into the game. And then when I'm watching the highlights, they show the no look, and then they show Arch's first ever touchdown pass, and really it looked like they were playing hot potato. Here, you take it, go score. Although that is his first touchdown pass, but the amount of attention and the ovation for Arch Manning. Does it ever get weird in the locker room? How does Quinn Ewers deal with that?
I mean, I think it's a good question. I think Quinn's just kind of mellow enough and never too high, never too low kind of guy that he's become the leader of that team. And I think they all trust in him and believe in him. He's in his third year in this system. He knows it, kind of forward and backward and all those things. I also think in the end, Quinn will be happy for Arch. When Quinn leaves after this year and goes to the NFL draft, I truly believe that he'll be happy for Arch to take over, and whatever Quinn does this year, if that's win the Heisman Trophy and win a national championship, or they don't win an SEC title, they go 10-3, or they do whatever, and Quinn goes to the NFL next year, and Arch comes in and does great things, I think Quinn will be genuinely happy for him. I mean, I think it's a good relationship. I do think there are interesting quirks in this, though, that probably will not come out until Quinn's either gone or both of these guys are gone. To me, the funniest part of this was not funniest, not if you're Quinn, but last year they announced that Quinn Ewers is, on the watch list before the season, is on the watch list for the Manning Award. And it's a picture of Quinn and huge letters behind him. It says Manning. And you're just like, guys, like, come on, like we can't start this already. But yeah, listen, I don't think we know yet. I don't think we know yet. I don't think we have any idea yet what that's like behind the scenes. But in front of the scenes, I think it all looks like they get along great.
And I'm sure they do, Bob, and that's not a problem. But I'm just seeing what you saw in game one. As soon as Quinn Ewers throws an interception or two, the folks in Texas are going to be screaming for this guy, and they're going to want to see him. And you're right, it is a good problem to have, but it can also be a double-edged sword in a way as well. And look, I like Quinn. Don't get me wrong, I like him. I think he's a good quarterback. Right. Not sure he's a pro. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But
talk to him, Bob.
I like him. You think he's a pro? I think he's Colt McCoy, if anything.
Well, Colt just retired after 13 years.
No, he did great. He did great.
Made a lot of money holding a clipboard.
I know what you're saying, though. But I think Quinn Ewers has the arm. I think he has the talent to be a guy that can be that guy in the NFL draft or on an NFL team. But he has to continue to develop. I think it's the same thing we've said all along. His injury history, he's done it in big games. I think that's what's kind of crazy about Quinn. He's been really good in big games. I think he's shown his talent. I think he's shown what he's capable of. But you just have to continue to develop. I think if you just look at it from a surface view and you just said, what am I going to go by my eye test? I think most people right now would say, oh, Arch has more flash, or he has more there's more to him. I don't know the right way to say that. But that doesn't mean in the end he's going to be that guy. And so I just don't know. I think that's the biggest thing. I just don't know yet. I don't think any of us know yet because we haven't seen enough of Arch. We haven't seen him in a pressure situation. Sark after the game talked about how I try really hard to get Arch to not be so robotic because he wants to be right. He wants to make the right play every time, which is great. That's wonderful. He wants to make the right play, but sometimes he has to be that guy that does what he did the other day, where he jumps out of the pocket, runs right, flips it to Silas Bolden, and he gets in because he has that ability as well. So there's something to be said, I think, for both of those things.
Bob Ballou, KI Television in Austin, our Longhorn insider, as UT gets ready to travel to Michigan. And I know they're the defending champions and everything that goes with it. I saw the place in Austin that said, "Hey, Michigan, don't steal this sign." I mean, there's all that up there. By the way, that Netflix documentary is just a PR hit for Connor Stallions, trying to do some good quality PR, but it's entertaining. But it is Michigan, tough place to play. Early kickoff. What do you think is the biggest challenge for UT going on the road this week facing Michigan?
Oh man, not listening to all this outside hype that they're just going to roll them, and then getting there and actually proving that they are the team that everybody thinks they are. And again, I think I still have some of the same questions that I had before this year started. Are they this team? Or can you just reload? Sometimes you play a team like Colorado State and you just run them over because you're the bigger physical. You're all those things. You're bigger, you're faster, you're stronger, whatever. When you play Michigan, you're not necessarily that at every position. So I think do they have the composure? Can they stay together when it's, they talked about this Monday, when it's 100,000 against the 100 of them on the sideline? Like, do they have that composure? Do they have that ability to just stay who they are, trust trust who they've been the last 8 months of practice? Because again, I mean, I know Isaiah Bond has, but you look at the Silas Boldens and the Matthew Goldens from Houston, and Silas went to Oregon State. These freshmen, DeAndre Moore hasn't played a lot. Jonte Cook hasn't played a lot. Ryan Niblett hasn't played a lot. Jaden Blue's played in the biggest of games, but Trey Wisner hasn't played. Jarrett Gibson hasn't played. Like, you start going down the line of their skill players, none of these guys have been in big atmospheres for the most part. Only Isaiah Bond and Jaden Blue. So I think those things are the things that I want to see. It's not to say they won't. It's the same thing we were just talking about. None of these things are to say Texas won't go in and win this game 24-0 or 24-3 or whatever it is. But you have to see it first, because this is the first time we're getting to see this full team because of what they lost in the offseason. And I think that was kind of Nick Saban's point. I don't know how much you all watched Game Day. I thought he was great. But one of the things he said was, I've never been able to predict things on teams we have no idea who they are. And so, and I love that, because there is so much change. There is so much turnover. Michigan lost, 11, 12, 13 guys in the NFL draft. Texas lost 11 guys in the NFL draft. Like, the transformation has to continue. And for Michigan, they lose all that talent. Yeah, they're replacing it with talent, but now they've got a new head coach. They've got 2 new quarterbacks. They've got all kinds of stuff that they've got to figure out. Texas has the same head coach and the same system and everything that all these guys that have been coming in, but they have to go prove it. And I just think until you do that, it's great that Quinn Ewers is back there, because that's the calming force in all of this. But otherwise, it's go do it. And that's what we're going to find out Saturday. I think to me, that's the fun part of what we'll find out Saturday is Texas that team? Do they have the composure? We know they have the speed. We know they're physical. Do they have the composure to go on the road and win a game like that?
That was Bob Ballou earlier today on the Blitz. For the full interview, hit the audio vault at sasportstar.com. When we come back, what's the holdup with Dak's deal? Well, the Morning Huddle guys discussed it. We'll let you hear it next, right here on Extra Innings with Pledge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Made in America. Highest quality. That's Connecticut Quality Water Softeners. There's a reason Dave Ramsey says a Connecticut is a wise investment for your home.
Trust me, Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison. Connecticut uses less water and runs on kinetic energy.
So there's no computer to break, fewer moving parts, and it works only when you need it.
It was even voted most efficient water softener in the world by the Water Quality Association.
A Connecticut is made right here in America, has the best warranty in the industry, and is the wise investment for your home. Plus, you can try a Connecticut water system for 90 days absolutely free with no contract.
Call Connecticut of San Antonio at 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
ConnecticutSA.com. It's football time at BetMGM. Use code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, original bets, Use code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, and get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. New customer offer. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, call 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, call 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Head to Mattress Firm's best sale of the year, the Labor Day sale. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. Well, we're just a few days out from the start of the season for the Dallas Cowboys. The question is, will Dak get a deal before the start of the season as all eyes continue to watch number 4 and the Dallas Cowboys? And this morning on the Morning Huddle, they broke down the latest report, that from Diana Rossini of the Scoop City podcast, on what the potential holdup could be.
They found Dak Prescott.
Yes, they did.
And he's made the most of it. God bless him. And now he's going to be able, his kids are going to be able to afford to play whatever youth sports they want to.
Well, probably have some pretty good coaches.
There's differing thoughts on what the holdup is for Dak. And Rob,
I was wrong.
How do you know you're wrong? You might be right.
I know, but you know, is it Mina Kimes that broke this? Who is this?
I didn't even know someone broke it.
Let's see. Oh, it's Diana Rossini. She says, according to the Athletics, Diana Rossini, that the holdup at this point, from what she understands, is about
Cowboys. Rossini noted that the Cowboys are weighing whether they want to keep Prescott in Dallas longer than 2, 3, or 4 years, since Dak has made it clear that he wants a long-term commitment. My thought was Dak wants, his agent is notorious for being, and notorious is a difficult word to use, but is known for really advocating for his clients to sign shorter deals. That's what his agent's known for at CAA. We're going to sign you for a couple years, like a movie or two.
And then we can hit it again.
And then we expect that we'll come and meet again because he's going to surpass all of your expectations. And if he doesn't, you get to renegotiate under that as well. That's what I thought. But according to Rossini, that Dak wants a long-term Pat Mahomes 8-year ain't going nowhere kind of deal, which would be the best possible for the Cowboys if, in fact, they wanted him around for 8 years. And I don't think Jerry wants him around for 8 years. He doesn't even want him around for 2 years.
Yeah, so I didn't know that about Diana Rossini. I hadn't seen that report yet. I just thought in my head that the Cowboys would be like, well, we'll have you around for, next year if you want to be here next year. And I just figured Dak wanted to be 4 or 5, and the Cowboys didn't want to deal with that.
That's kind of where you're kind of there. But given the way Dak is acting, and given the agent that he now has, and given his agent's history, this is the other side of the coin. And if this is in fact the case, then like the Cowboys and Jerry does want Dak, and not just for the short term, for the long term, for both the financial ramifications of spreading this mayonnaise mighty thin over the length of this toast, or the short term get him rid of him. I think if this is the case, Jerry, I don't know what the hell Jerry's thinking if he likes him. If the fact is that everything that Jerry has said, that he loves him, wants to be the quarterback, and it's about Jerry wants a shorter term deal than a long term deal, that completely shakes the dynamic I thought we were dealing with. Because I don't think that's the case. I think Dak wants to be out, and if he is going to stay, you're going to pay me $65 million for 2 years.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. Like I that's kind of what I figured, that the Cowboys were like, hey, we want to sign something that's like very temporary. And Dak came back with, okay, well, if we do that, I want exorbitant money for that temporary
Which would be the right answer.
That does seem like the right answer. But I figured there was just a difference in opinion on what exorbitant money was going to be.
Well, the reaction to that, when you negotiate, and if this is in fact true, according to what Rossini's saying, and if this is what the scuttlebutt is around the league and the general managers and the agent community, Jerry is obvious by his actions that he just doesn't want him here. I just want you to go away. And I read NFL execs expect Dak Prescott to have an FU MVP kind of season. That's
awesome,
exactly what Jerry wants.
Yeah.
Have an MVP season. Please. Please. And then I'll figure it out. And if it comes to the fact where you have an MVP season,
if that's your biggest
pay
issue,
you accordingly.
Yeah.
That was the Morning Huddle talking about the latest when it comes to Dak Prescott's contract negotiation holdups. And yeah, sure, everybody wants him to have a bleep you season. I think people want Dak to have one, and McCarthy. The problem is if you make them mad enough to where they're bleeping you and the organization and have that season, they could take that season and walk right out the door to another place where they feel appreciated and loved, rather than basically overlooked by the owner and saying, I didn't believe in you enough to make you satisfied with the victories that we've had under your success. I felt that I had to push you to this point, and they may take their talents elsewhere at the end of the year. And then you're in quite the predicament as a team. This is Extra Innings with Pleasure. I am James Pleasure here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. When we come back, we'll put a bow on the show, get you ready for the start of the NFL season tomorrow. That's all coming up on Extra Innings with Pledge on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Congressman Joaquin Castro. Here in Military City, USA, we're proud to stand by our veterans. Every year, my office is honored to help San Antonio veterans Delayed benefits, claims, and service questions. Just know that if you need a hand, we're here for you. Call 210-348-8216 or visit castro.house.gov/help to learn more. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
It's Ewald Kubota's Summer Sales Event, and now's the time to beat the heat with cool pricing. Like up to $4,000 off on the Kubota SVL 97, or take 0 down, 0 APR for 36 months, plus an additional Ewald discount of $500. The Kubota SVL 97 is one tough track loader, built to handle rugged terrain, all in the comfort of an AC cab. Come to any of our 11 locations and beat the heat during the Ewald Kubota's Summer Sales Event.
Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149. Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh, good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
It's football time at BetMGM. Use code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, original bets, and the best daily promotions in the business. Use code KOSTOS, KOSTOS, and get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. New customer offer. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, call 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, call 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Let's get wild.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 FM. NFL.com. Look, biggest threat to the Chiefs this year, likely in the AFC, going to be the Bengals, Ravens, and Texans, in my opinion. On the NFC side, if someone can jump up to get the San Francisco 49ers, it's likely going to be Detroit or Green Bay. And I think both teams come out of the North. Those are the ones that have the highest upside. I think if things get right with Philly, they've got a real shot. And I think Dallas is going to be a lot better than people expect them to be this year. Team morale or feelings about the team, it is not great, but that's a great team. It's a lot of talent on that team, and those rookies performed well early. Beebe, Guyton, you're hearing great things about Nealon. Carson, the corner, who's going to be filling in for Bland, and when he comes back, that's going to give him a three-headed monster at corner. I think they've done a very good job filling talent holes on that roster with young, cheap talent, and they're going to need to, because if you're going to pay everybody, especially Micah, CD, and Dak, that's something that is necessary to plug those holes. Remember to check on your friends, shoot them a text, let them know you're thinking about them. Never know what somebody's going through in life, and anything you do could do a lot more than people believe. And trust me, guys, I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the comments. We'll see you tomorrow here for Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants